to the crafty nana, thrift and vlog and haul try on.
Good afternoon. Well, it's not a good afternoon. It's thundering. You'll probably hear some rumbles in the background, and it's grey as well as thundery. We're going to go ahead anyway because it's always a good time where I am. I'm a happy person. So, with no further ado, let's get started. And I'm really, really, really delighted with my first item. So this is a linen dress, really, but I'm using it as a jacket because it would be way too short, and I don't like things that literally come up underneath my bust and are pleated because it's not the most flattering. But as a coat, I think it works absolutely brilliantly. It's the finest linen with a lovely floral sort of almost 60s kind of design on it. Great big flowers, which I think are really rather dolly. Now, I've put on some flower jewellery with it. I better go back. This coat was 15 ringgit from BH Mart, and it was they have an upstairs department with some sort of slightly nicer items in. So this was from upstairs rather than from the baskets. Lovely, absolutely lovely. So BH, and then the dress I'm wearing underneath it is sort of like a Grecian style pleated see-through organza dress. Now I put it with a black dress underneath it because it literally is see-through. But I think it's this lovely off-white which works really well with the flowers in the dress, because white would be too much and beige would be too beige. So this sort of off-grey white looks really cool with it. And then the black underneath giving it that sort of Grecian layers. I think it looks really good. It is sleeveless, little buttons at the front and a tie-in under the boobies. And otherwise it's just the pleats that form it to your body. So this one was Jalan, Japan. Both items 15 ringgit each. Now I have another item here. One of my ladies, one of my followers said, could you show more handbags with what you're wearing to show what you might wear with it? I am lazy. I have one handbag, and it's one of those handbags that changes colour when the sunlight hits it, and it turns into rainbows. Most of the time it just looks grey, but when the light hits it, it goes rainbow. So it goes with everything. So I hardly ever change handbags, but I did find this bag for 17 pence or 99 sen in the sale at BH Mart. And I did think that if I was wearing this, I could quite happily put this lovely beaded bag on with it, and it would be really super duper. So just trying to do what I'm asked. Now I've got mother of pearl rings in flower shapes to pick up the flowers on the jacket. Mother of pearl flower necklace. You've probably seen me wear this a few times, but it's so versatile. And I've put beads on again that have got some black pearls in amongst the real pearls that pick out the colours in the print. So altogether, I think this makes a really nice, smart, interesting outfit. You could wear this just with the plain black, absolutely no problem. But you know what? I just think that lighter colour underneath just lifts it all a little bit. I've put some grey and gold flowers in my hair. These were from Jalan, Japan, and were 3 ringgit. There's actually 2 pieces. There's one double pin, and then, so this is one piece here, and then the comb with the other flowers. And I just thought with this grey colour dress, they would work very nicely. Now, you may notice, if you're new, you're just seeing me for the first time, so you won't know. But before, my hair was blue and purple, and now my hair is pink. I've just had my birthday. and I turned 64, and I thought I ought to celebrate my birthday, and I thought, well, let's go for a new colour this year, this trip round the sun. Let's start it with a new colour. So we're pink. It has come a little bit purpley pink because obviously my hair was bluey purple before, so it's sort of showing through. Whether it will stay pink, I don't know. I can't tell how my whims will go, but at the moment we are most definitely pink. So that's number 1, done and dusted. Let's move on to number 2. Outfit number 2. We're still with grey pleats, only these are slightly larger, silkier grey pleats in the skirt this time. Little grey peplum top, like a little skater dress, but on me it's definitely a top. This just has the most vibrant multicoloured flowers on it, and it lifts it up from just being grey. And I thought it was quite cute. I put it with my favourite dark pink, almost red, double layer duster coat, because I just always feel good in this. I left the grey flowers in the hair just because this is flowery and grey. I did add this scarf because it just pulls the colours out even more. But it doesn't need it if you're not a scarf person. I just personally think it just adds a bit of oomph. The jewellery, I handmade this jewellery. Well, some of it's antique. Some of it was my mother's, and it was antique carved coral. And there were only bits of it left, and I just felt bad. So I thought I saw an inspiration on Pinterest with all the sort of pointy bits of coral, and I thought, I could make that with polymer clay. So I cooked up some polymer clay, made lots of spikes, then made even more, and I put them together with the pieces of the original one, made some earrings and beads to match, and put them all together. I even had to put a little coral bracelet in with the pearls, and I'm rather liking them. This necklace was a thrift shop find. This was 10 ringgit, which is about, not even £2, about £1.70, in Jalan, Japan. So I put them together. I like it very much. And although there's not a lot of coral in here, there is pink, there is orange, and it does draw it out. And I think it's bright and it's colourful and it's funky. And I like the fact that I know that it's like original pieces of carved coral in there with the homemade stuff. And I love finding bits of broken stuff and being able to give them a new life. Really gives me a purpose. I love making things better and making them usable again. So this is number 2. I think it's rather nice. Very easy to wear, very simple little top. The skirt was a Jalan, Japan one. I think this was 10 ringgit as well. So this was only 17 pence. So this was in my haul of 99 sen again. So 99 sen top from BH, Mart. 10 ringgit skirt from Jalan, Japan. This I bought many moons ago, but it's just been so useful. It gets worn all the time. I originally bought it because I needed something red for Chinese New Year, but since then it's been used a lot. And everything else, most of it I've actually made myself, although this I think was a gift from my brother from the Philippines. Yeah, so there we go. And on. Okay, so purple. I have a weakness for this purple. This had the most beautiful sleeves. So even though it was probably 2 sizes too big, I bought it anyway. I took it in and then I put a sash around it because it was still very baggy. That's so 1970s. think back to Princess Anne's wedding dress. You know, I just love the bell sleeves. I think they're really, really nice. And this is a particularly nice shade of plummy purple. I put a little sash around it just to bring up the paler shade of purple that's in the skirt. Both the bottom of the skirt sort of echoes the bell sleeves with its extra ruffle around the bottom. And I've given you a little purple Chanel look bag, just for the lady that wanted bags. My outrageous statement jewellery, I put double earrings in to get both colours. Now the skirt I thrifted in Clevedon in England several years ago. It's particularly good shopping for thrifters in Clevedon, or certainly used to be. This I take with me whenever I go abroad. Whenever I'm travelling, this goes with me. One, it's a dark colour, so it doesn't show the marks. If you accidentally spill, it's very forgiving. Two, it folds down to nothing. It is so silky and lightweight that literally folds up so beautifully. It packs, comes out without any wrinkles. It's just one of those things, it's a must. For whenever I travel, it's a must. So one of those finds, you didn't realise how good it was at the time. But it's grown even more precious to you as the years go by. So that's what I put together. I've just tied the sash around it just to pull the bulk of it in a bit more. And I think this is a nice outfit. Nothing too over the top, although with this jewellery, everything's over the top with this jewellery. Just lost an earring. I didn't put it in through the right hole, obviously. So that's the outfit. Ding dong, ding dong. And we're now on to our last one of the day. Okay, so this last outfit I think is a little dandified. It's all got the sort of embroidery theme running through it. So we've got this black embroidered jacket that I thrifted in Exeter. Was way too big for me, and as I got a bit smaller, it got even more too big for me. So it hadn't come out at all very much. But I've taken it in an enormous amount, and to be honest, it still needs more to come out. But you know, it's baby steps. There's a little bit at a time getting it to go to where I want it to go. Has nice big mother of pearl buttons, and it's cool. It's cool. But as I said, it really needs a little bit more coming out of it. Now, I put it over this amazing top dress, I suppose, that I thrifted in Brunei a couple of times ago at the barracks, the army barracks there. They have a shop so that when the soldiers are coming or going, they can send all their stuff and get rid of things that they're not wanting to take back with them, or get stuff that's better for the weather that's there rather than what they brought with them from England. And I absolutely love this. Again, this is all beautifully, heavily embroidered all over. But I didn't wear it because it just looked sad. And sad is a strange way to say it, but the shoulders came right down over my shoulders like that. And I always get the feeling it's like having like droopy glasses, or you know, it just makes things look sad. As soon as I took the shoulder back up, it looked so much better. So basically both shoulders I took a big chunk out of and lifted them back up. I didn't take it out, I just put it underneath. But it does look so much better for that. Now, last time I tried this on, I wore it with white trousers, but actually with the black jacket, I thought these trousers that have got the same sort of motif and the same sort of size motif all over them actually worked brilliantly with this. So, black lacy trousers, white lacy top, black and white lacy jacket. Now, I put it with this quite recently made bug. It's another one of my great big giant tiger beetles. And I've done this one in a sort of copper and a metallic blue because my daughter had thrifted these beautiful glass beads that had the sort of orange and blue and copper colours running through them. So I put those onto the necklace. I added some beads into it as well, and then I put the bug on it because I really didn't like the great big chunky plastic heart that was on it. I added extra silver leaves. There was one and I just made it a bit more leafy by adding another. Made some matching earrings, and I think that they're a bit more casual. They bring it sort of more of a sort of hippie vibe to make it sort of softer and more daytimey. But I do like it. I think this will get worn. It is quite heavy, but I'm a big girl. I can do it. So, what do we think of this outfit? I think this is a really beautiful tunic, and I'll be very glad of the opportunity to wear it now that I've altered the sleeves. I've done the same both sides. So it sits right up onto my shoulder, and it just gives a much better shape. Little alterations make a huge difference, and you don't have to be brilliant at sewing. I quite often see people commenting, "Oh, I wish I could sew." I can't sew. I'm a bodger. I bodge things, but I bodge things and I make them work. So this is now wearable, whereas before it just sagged on my shoulders, and I've got really big shoulders, so this was made for a giant, quite honestly. But now it's very wearable, very summery. These trousers are so damn comfortable. Now, I didn't tell you where I got the last purple bell sleeve top from. That was from Banduro. So that was Banduro 11 ringgits. This was the Army thrift shop in Brunei, and I can't remember how much it was. I'd have to go back to the original thing. It was done in Singapore dollars because they use Singapore dollars over there. And quite honestly, it would probably be more than I would pay if I was buying it over here. But Brunei is not cheap, but this was so lovely. I couldn't resist it. And the trousers, these were also Banduro, and I think they'd have probably been the same sort of price as that top, round about 11 ringgit, with all the money off bits that you get when you join up. So that's my final outfit today. I love it. It's huge, it's crazy, but I do love it. I have still been making some jewellery, but I've been making some different pieces. I've been adding some lizards. I've been making things out of porcupine quills. Hopefully I'll get that finished this week and you'll see it in a future video at some point. But yeah, have a lovely week. Have a productive week. Nothing feels better than getting things done. Make yourself lists, tick them off. Add things to the list that you've already done so you can tick them off. It's cheating, I know, but I do it. Have a good time. Thank you if you're a new subscriber. If you haven't subscribed, why haven't you subscribed? Please subscribe and ring that bell, because that will tell you when I put new stuff out. I'll be off travelling soon. Should be some exciting stuff coming. We shall have to wait and see. Bye for now. From the Crafty Nana. I love you all. Take care.
If you enjoyed this, please like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Bye for now.